Welcome back. Last September, one of my former guests, Eric Osberg, invited me and my family down to Montgomery for two Biscuits games. I am Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Besides getting to finally meet Eric in person, I also got to meet today's guest. Niko Hulsizer is an outfielder in the Rays organization. He's a hustler and has one of the most unique looks in baseball. And today, he's here as my guest. Let's get right to it. How are you, Niko?
Hey Grayson, thanks for having me on, bud. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
doing all right. How are you?
Hi. I'm really good. But before we do this, is it Holsizer or Holsheiser? How do you say your name?
Yeah, Hulsizer, just like it's spelled, like Hul and then Sizer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so first off, last season you played Double A and got called up to Triple A Durham at the end of the season. By the time this interview comes out, the season will be underway. But do you know where the Rays plan to start you this season?
I'm not sure. I got invited to big league spring training, so that's a really great opportunity. And it's spring training's kind of where we get placed and where they figure out where they're sending us. But I'm pretty sure I'll be in AAA to start, but maybe in AA again. We'll see what happens.
Mhm. So are you leaving soon to camp?
Yeah, so I'm leaving here in like, not too long, maybe like a week and a half or so. I'm going on February 15th and driving down and got to be there on the 18th for Fan Fest in St. Pete. And then yeah, it should start, the 19th.
Mhm. So I've never been to Durham, so I hope if you're in the minors, it's Triple A, and we can meet again in North Carolina.
For sure. Yeah, where are you at again? I forget what city you're in.
Like Atlanta area, Georgia.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that isn't
And
too
yeah,
far. And
not far.
I'm pretty sure if I'm in AAA with Durham, we'll play in Gwinnett. That's not too far
Yeah.
from you.
hmm
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about where you are in a bit. But let's get to know where you come from. So you grew up in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, so I grew up in Pennsylvania. I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but moved at a young age to Pennsylvania. Grew up here my whole life until I went to college. Um, yeah, but I love it in Pennsylvania. It's a great place to grow up. You get all four seasons. Baseball's good, and yeah, I mean, I like Pennsylvania. I love it.
So are you in Pennsylvania right now?
Yeah, so I still live in Pennsylvania in the off season for now. Yeah, I think this is where I'll call home, for the foreseeable future in the off season. Like I said, I grew up here and I love it here. We can do a lot of the things I enjoy where I live. So yeah,
hmm
Pennsylvania's home for now.
It's pronounced Monton, right? Monton?
It's pronounced Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Yeah, everything up here is spelled different than it's pronounced. I live right outside of a city called Reading, but it's spelled like reading. We have the we have the Reading Phillies here, or the Reading Fightins, the Phillies Double A teams in my hometown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So Pennsylvania has all the seasons, like you just said. So besides baseball, what else were you doing as a kid?
So as a kid, man, I played a bunch of other sports. I played football and basketball as well. But once I got to about seventh grade, I pretty much committed to baseball. But I also did a lot of fishing growing up. I like trout fishing, so I was in the streams a lot. I did some BMXing, like bikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was into a lot of different things growing up. But I also snowboarded. Living in Pennsylvania, we get a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but yeah.
So you do like basically everything. That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks,
You
man.
you you
I'm a
fish,
man
you
of
you dirt bike.
yeah, I'm a man of many talents.
hmm
I do many different things. I always have to be busy, so yeah, I take up my time
That's
with
really,
many.
that's really, really cool.
Yeah, what are
Um,
you into? Are you into anything outside of baseball?
Baseball, VR games. It's pretty much I'm
VR
doing
games like on an Oculus?
yeah, Oculus.
Oh yeah, we have one of those, but we haven't really gotten to use it yet. Do you think I
Oh,
should
really?
use it?
It's so nice. You should really, really try it.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to get some game suggestions from you then,
Yeah, we'll definitely talk after.
for sure.
hmm Um, so what was your introduction to baseball, and did you love it right away?
Yeah, so I always knew that baseball was what I wanted. I started playing, just like most kids at a very young age. I couldn't even recall when, probably 4 years old or so. Um, but it's funny, yeah. So I basically knew that this was going to be my route probably since about the age of 10 years old, where I was like, I didn't say, oh, I want to be a professional football player or I want to be a professional this or I want to be a fireman or a police officer. I always said baseball. Baseball is what I want, even while I was playing other sports. But yeah, and now I'm here.
So what is it about baseball that's fun for you that keeps you going?
I don't know. I think well, especially when I was a kid, it just seemed to be what I was naturally talented at. I worked hard, but it just came very easily. Um, but still currently, so as I've gotten older, I think some of the things that keep me going are the relationships I've formed with the people, um, and just the competing every day. So
Mhm.
I love being in a sport that we play so often. We play a lot of games, but that gives me the chance to compete every day. Um, and yeah, what keeps me going, I stay happy. Like I've been trying to play as happy as I can. As I've gotten older, I'm realizing I'm still playing a kid's game, and I'm very grateful for that. So I try to play like a kid.
So this is super off topic. Super off topic. But
Yeah.
behind you it says HH12. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so I made that my social media handle probably at the age of 13, 14. I don't know. It's originally what my screen name was Home Run Hitter 12. It's pretty funny. But then I just shortened it one day. I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna mix it up. And now also, so my son's name is Hano Hulsizer. So now it kind of like symbolizes him as well, HH, Hano Hulsizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that used to be on my old Audi when I had it. And
Okay.
it's like the front license plate. It's a German license plate.
Oh, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So were most of your friends on your teams, like your school friends or just friends in general?
Yeah, so I had a lot of my current friends are kids I played with from a young age. And I've met a lot of other people from all over the country, all over the world, as I've played baseball growing up. So I really like that about baseball. Is all the people I've met from very different places, and it's kind of, helped me growing up just see how other people have it in good ways and in bad ways. Yeah, but I'd say a majority of my friends are in baseball, but I still have, plenty of friends that don't play baseball, which is nice as well.
I love my school friends, but my teammates pretty much like they're mostly like
But
my best friends because they know me so well.
yeah, and yeah, you guys also have something in common. You love the sport of baseball, so like that just draws you even closer.
Mhm.
And as you know, I'm sure you play a lot of baseball, so you're with those boys a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um so you play outfield right now, but where were you playing in high school?
yeah. So it's funny. I've always been an outfielder. Of course, I played a little infield growing up. The last time I pitched, I was thinking about this the other day. I was probably 13 years old. It was the last time I've been on the mound. So I
Whoa.
didn't pitch or anything growing like in high school or middle school or anything like that. I caught actually all the way up until I went to college as well. So I was a catcher and an outfielder. And then once I got to college, it was strictly outfield. But I see that you got a Cooperstown shirt on. That might have been one of the last times that
Yeah,
I
I was that was my next question. So were you did you go to Cooperstown?
yeah. So I went to Cooperstown twice when I was 11 and 12. Right? You have to be like 12 and under to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
when I
went there.
went.
Yeah. So you went once or twice or more.
I went once this year, this past summer, this July, last
Nice.
July.
How'd that
Yeah.
go?
It went really, really well. I had a really fun time. We placed like 16th. I have no idea.
Out
But
of probably like 100 teams, right?
yeah, 60. I think there were 66 teams there.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah.
still pretty good if you're finishing 16th.
The
I don't think
number
we ever placed that good.
yeah. How many times did you go?
So I went 2 times. Did you hit any home runs while you're there?
I hit two home runs. The fences
Dude,
are really short though.
yeah, but still, it's fun. It's a great
Hmm.
time. Anytime I don't care if the fence is 10 feet away. If I hit it over it, I'm gonna be happy. Yeah, so I hit a couple home runs while I was there too. I think my first year I hit like three, and then my second year I hit three.
Okay. So
Yeah.
pretty even.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so you were talking about your college. So you went to Morehead State. I had to look that up, and it's in Kentucky. So why did you go there?
Yeah, so it was a mid-major Division I school in Kentucky in the Ohio Valley Conference. Um, I went there just I didn't have that many offers coming out of high school. And I had maybe two, three other offers from mid-major schools. Um, so I went and visited a couple, but Morehead just seemed to fit me. It's in Kentucky, but it was very similar to home. It's out in the mountains. I could fish while I was there. It got all 4 seasons. Winter wasn't as bad there. Um, but yeah, I just saw it being a place that I could fit in and enjoy my college experience out of the options I had. And it ended up working really well for me and got me to where I wanted to go ultimately, which is professional baseball.
Mhm. So why should anyone choose Morehead State? Now's your chance to endorse the school.
Yeah, so Morehead is a great place to go, and if you really want to focus on sports, it's a small school, smaller. You still get the Division I experience. We played a lot of good schools, uh, but it's not one of those big crazy schools with parties and you know rowdy tailgates and all that. So it's a good place to go and focus on baseball. That's I think the number one draw I had.
Mhm. So what can a high school player do to stand out while still being a team player?
What does he do to stand out while still being a team player? Huh, that's a good question. Um, I think they both go hand in hand. Like I think if you're a good player, you're a good teammate. That because that you have to have all of it. You've seen plenty of guys that are good at the sport, but if you've seen them not be good teammates, and that kind of brings down the team. So what like when coaches are looking at you, especially for college, yeah, they want to see that you're a good player on the field, but they want to see how you are as a teammate. Because as you know, we play so many games, you're around the guys so much, uh, so you got to be able to get along with everybody, and you want people to like being around you. So if you can't do that, then I don't know if you're exactly a good player in my book.
So what was the transition like from high school to college ball?
The transition, wow. So going from high school to college, you move out of your house and you got to go be, somewhat of an adult. So you don't have your mom or your parents telling you what to do or when to be at practice or get your homework done. So yeah, I think the biggest change going from high school to college is just learning how to do things more so on your own. Um, yeah.
So any crazy obstacles you got to overcome as a college player besides what you just said?
Crazy obstacles. No, I thought the transition was very easy for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't really have too many obstacles other than, the coaching's a little more serious. I had to like we could actually get more so punished in college. So, like I had to learn like yeah, all of that, like running, if we got in trouble, we'd be on the turf at 5 o'clock in the morning and have to run, suicides. And that was new to me, and that was just kind of a struggle. Um, but it makes you tougher. I'd say that was one of the struggles I had was just yeah, learning consequences more so.
Mhm. So what about college to high school? I mean college to the pros besides obviously the bat
Yeah,
changing.
college to the pros. Yeah, I mean, I think college is a great transition into professional baseball. I think if I would have went to play professional baseball out of high school, it might not have been ideal for me. I think I needed that transition period to go to college first. Because like I said, that's where you go and you learn how to be a little bit more of an adult. And I could see that being harder if you go straight from high school into professional baseball and with a lot of money, because then you don't really know how to be an adult, and now you have a lot of money and you're on your own, and you're still only 18 years old. Um, so yeah, I think that college was a great transition into professional baseball for me.
So you're with the Rays organization now, but I read you were actually drafted by the Dodgers. Were you upset when you were traded to the Rays? But before you answer, just know the Rays are my favorite team, and hopefully I'll be good enough to play for them someday. Go ahead.
For sure. Yeah, so I wasn't upset. when I got drafted by the Dodgers in 2018. Um, and then I got traded at the halfway point through 2019 for a relief pitcher named Adam Kolarek, who was a big leaguer. Um, yeah, that day was kind of crazy. So when you get traded, you're not always notified beforehand. So I was at the gym working out before one of my games, and I got a phone call from one of the GMs or some sort. Basically, just notified me that I already got traded and that I would be on a flight later that day. And I woke up that morning thinking I was going to be a Dodger for the next 5 years. And, by midday, I was preparing to move out of my apartment and get my whole living situation transported to Florida. Um, I wasn't upset being traded to the Rays. I've really enjoyed being a Ray so far. So the
Mhm.
Rays are your favorite team?
Yeah, they are. Mhm.
Nice. Who's your
So,
favorite player?
well, it was Brett Phillips, but
Oh, I should have known that. I always see you wearing
yeah,
his stuff.
but now like Yandy Diaz probably.
Yeah,
He's
so
he's
you
really
you
cool.
see that they just signed him to that big contract?
Oh yeah, Pete Fairbanks too.
Yep, they just
Mhm.
extended both of them, so that's good
Yeah.
to have on a team for a while.
hmm
That's
Uh,
awesome.
so imagine like you got called up to the pros in like 2019, and then you got traded in 2019 to the Rays, and then you guys lost the World Series in 2020. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, well, that was crazy as it was, yeah, because I was like, man, I just went from, the one team that's in the World Series to the next. And yeah, I couldn't imagine what it would be like because, I'm sure that happens in the big leagues where like, that happens. You get traded to another team midway through, and then you face them either in playoffs or the World Series, and that must be crazy because you're just playing all your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, after your season ended last year, you went to play winter ball in two different countries, Mexico and then Venezuela. I have a few questions about that. So first, do the Rays push you to play winter ball, or is that something you choose to do?
Yeah. So with some guys, they definitely want you to play winter ball. Like if you've been hurt maybe and you haven't played a lot during the season here, then it's a good way to go and get some more at bats to make up for what you missed. Um, yeah, so I went on. So I wanted to go on my own. Um, I'm a guy that likes to stay busy, like I said, and I like to travel and see other places in the world. And I think it's awesome that with my job, I can get paid to go see other countries. Essentially, I go play baseball and get to see that culture and get to travel and see all these other things. But so I chose to go play in Venezuela, um, and it was a really good experience. I enjoyed it a lot, but sadly we didn't make playoffs. So I was able to go to Mexico and join a team over there, the Monterey Sultanes, and play with them for playoffs. Um, Sadly, we lost in the first round in Game 7, so that was
Oh,
a tough one. Yeah, but I really
always,
enjoyed my winter
always the
ball
game
experience.
7.
Always. But I hear that you did you live in another country for a little bit?
I mean, when I was like 3. I went to Mexico for like.
Yeah, for a little bit. Well, did
Well,
you go to like Puerto Rico?
oh yeah, I lived in Puerto Rico. I when I for 3 years. I mean, it could be considered a country, but I count
Yeah,
as like
you're
a
right. I
U.S.
guess U.S. territory, right?
Yeah, so I lived there for 3 years. I went to Mexico for like
Nice.
20 minutes when I was like 2 years old.
Yeah, don't even remember
I
it
was
probably.
asleep the whole time.
That's fun.
Yeah, and so I lived in Florida and now I live here.
So when you were in Puerto Rico, did you go to any games there?
No, not really. I was too young.
How
We
old were
we,
you when
we
you were there?
3 to 6. I mean, well, no, two to five maybe.
2 to 5. Yeah, when you were over in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Oh man, well you have to go back over there. They got really good winter ball over there. Either
I
maybe
know.
one day you'll play there, you can go watch a game or something.
Yeah, we were talking to Anthony Maldonado. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
So he played winter ball for Puerto Rico, and he might be in the World Baseball Classic for Puerto Rico.
Oh, that'd be super cool.
hmm
You'll have to get
Um,
another interview with him if he makes it that far,
yeah.
for sure.
So I know from other interviews that there are a few places a guy can go: Australia, Mexico, Venezuela, and Puerto Rico. There's probably more, but how did you decide on Mexico and Venezuela?
Yeah, so I told my agent that I wanted to play winter ball. Um, and I told the Rays I wanted to play, and they gave me the okay to do so. And Venezuela was the first team to call me in with an offer. Um, and the team I went to play for was Zulia in Venezuela, and one of my teammates who you've got to see play, I think, uh, Osleves Basabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he plays for that team, and he's from that city. So
Oh,
he
okay.
told the manager that I wanted to come over there, and sure enough, they called me, and I went and played over there.
So do you speak Spanish?
Everybody thought I did, and everybody would constantly ask me, but no, I don't, sadly. I can
Mhm.
understand some, but very little speaking ability.
Yeah.
Can you speak any Spanish?
I'm taking Spanish classes right now, and my mom is full Puerto Rican, and I'm half Puerto Rican, I guess.
So does she speak Spanish?
Yeah, she speaks fluent Spanish, I
Does
guess.
she teach you?
I'm and sometimes I'm taking Spanish in 7th grade and 8th grade.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah,
mhm.
that'll help. And then you can also practice with your mom. That helps a lot. She'll be able to
Yeah.
help you with homework.
Yeah. And my Puerto Rican grandparents live with us in the basement, so I practice with them sometimes too.
That's really cool. Yeah, if you can learn Spanish, it'll help you a lot in
Mhm.
baseball.
I have one more question about Mexico and Venezuela.
Yeah.
So, were you there when the big brawl went out with the pitcher clotheslining the guy, the
Wait,
hitter
in which city?
in
Or what was it,
I don't
in
remember.
Venezuela or Mexico?
I think it was Mexico.
I think there was one in Venezuela right before I got there. Oh man, the guy he hit like 3 home runs in a game or two, and as he was running around first base, I think the first baseman hit him and laid him out.
Yeah, yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
pretty
weren't
sure.
there?
No, I got there like right after that. But I talked to some of my friends on those teams that were playing there, and they said it was crazy.
Mhm, wow.
Yeah,
So you have a wife and a young son. Did they go with you? And if not, how hard was it being away?
yeah. So they did not come with me, because going to Venezuela is already difficult as it is being a United States citizen. You can't really go there on vacation. So I could go there because I was essentially working, uh, but I was playing baseball, so I got a visa to go over there. So they stayed home. Um, and yeah, being away from them was difficult, but sadly, it's just kind of part of the reality of being a baseball player, and they're used to it throughout the season. So they didn't get to see me. I was only there for like a month and a half anyway, so not the longest amount of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you have this very unique look. So are you a flashy player or do you like more old school?
You know, I'm very much an individual, so I just like being me. I'm authentic. I don't really try to be like anybody else, and I don't try to be something I'm not. It's just if I'm feeling away, I'm gonna do it. So I got a bunch of tattoos. Um, I got dreadlocks. Sometimes I have a curly mustache. That's just
Sometimes you
what
have
I'm.
a regular mustache.
Sometimes I have a regular mustache. You got it. So no, I can respect either or. If you're an old school player or if you're flashy, hey, it's your world. Get to live in it how you want.
Mhm. So when I met you, you signed a ball and a baseball card for me, your own baseball card.
Yeah.
Um, I think that game, you might have lost that game, but I think the next game you won. You came back and eventually lost, but it was a good game. So and we met at the end. So
Yeah.
how was that like moment like meeting me, I guess?
Yeah, no, that was really cool. Yeah, I heard about you through Eric, and I knew that you guys were coming down. Um, yeah, I was really happy to meet you. It was awesome to get to sign a ball and stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, and you're very knowledgeable about baseball, so I enjoy talking to people that know what they're talking about when it comes to baseball. And yeah, I'm really happy that you had me on here today, especially. I've been wanting to do this with you, and hopefully we can do more in the future, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my mom about a new segment, and you're gonna be the first person to try this. I hope you're cool with it. So I call it "What would you say to your 13-year-old self?" I think my listeners might be able to learn something from that.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to do that.
So what would you say to your
Oh, okay.
13
I didn't know if
year
I didn't know if you were gonna ask me a certain question.
Oh,
No,
no, no,
but
no.
okay. No, that's all good. Yeah. So, say to my 13-year-old self, hmm, I would say work hard and follow your dreams because even if you don't essentially reach exactly what you're aiming for, you're definitely going to be farther than if you didn't try and pursue your dreams. Something good always comes out of hard work. Um, that's something I've always believed in. I wasn't the most sought after player essentially when I was younger, but I definitely worked hard, and I think that's what got me to where I am today. Um, there's been times of self doubt, always. Everybody has those. And yeah, if I could just go back and just tell myself to keep working hard and keep any 13-year-old kid, tell them that just work hard and good things will happen.
Attitude and effort. That's always what my dad tells me.
Exactly. He's exactly right with that. Those two things can get you a far way.
Well, Niko, we made it to the not so rapid fire questions. You can answer with as much or as little info as you want. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So my mom always wants to know, do you have any game day or at bat superstitions?
I do not have any superstitions. I'm not a superstitious guy.
So did you grow up liking the Phillies or the Pirates?
I grew up liking the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox. So living in Pennsylvania, and I'm closer to Philly, so I was a Phillies fan. But then my stepfather grew up in Boston, and his whole family likes Boston sports, so I also rooted for the Red Sox.
What is your favorite pizza topping?
Oh, that's tough. If I can only go with one, I'm saying pepperoni. But if I can get multiple, I'm going for like Hawaiian pizza, like pineapple and ham.
Hawaiian, yeah. So pepperoni's my sister's favorite, and that's what she said you were gonna say. Um,
Uh-huh.
Hawaiian's my favorite because I believe pineapple belongs on pizza.
I'm 100% with you.
Mhm,
Pineapple on pizza all day.
mhm. So how did you decide on your son's name?
It's funny. My girl gave me the choice of naming him. Um, and one day we were actually at the beach in Ocean City, Maryland, and a commercial came on, and the guy's name was Hano something or another, and he was like, it was an insurance commercial, and I was like, huh, Hano, I like that name a lot. Hano Hulsizer. I could see them saying that at a baseball game one day when he comes up to bat.
Hano Imano.
Yeah, I like that. That's funny. No one's ever said that to me yet.
Oh, really? You were
Yeah.
you were expecting you were just waiting for someone to say that to you?
No, I've never even heard that before. I've never like I like that. I'm gonna
Oh,
start saying
I just made that up on the spot. But
that's all.
that's really really nice of you.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm. So what is your favorite baseball memory as a player or fan?
Oh, my favorite baseball memory as a player was probably winning the conference championship in 2018. Um, and as a fan, my favorite memory was when the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, just because that was the hometown team, and that was really cool because to see
Aren't
everybody get behind that.
aren't you on the Rays?
Calling me out. Yeah, that's funny. No, yeah, but those were probably my two favorites.
And lastly, what is your favorite baseball movie?
My favorite baseball movie is Little Big League. You ever seen it?
Ooh, I think so, but maybe when I was younger. That's I don't think anyone has said that before. So
It's
yeah.
so in the movie, the kid, his grandfather dies, who owns the team, and he willed it off to him, so he becomes the owner of the and manager of the team.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Um, Niko Hulsizer, everybody, we did it. Thank you so much for your time. Did you have fun?
I had a great time. Thanks for having me on. I'd love to do it again sometime.
Mm. Anything else you want to add or any questions for me?
No, man. I really enjoyed my time on here today. I think you got a future in this. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. So please follow Niko at HH_12_ on Instagram. And please support my show by subscribing to Baseball Podcast or Fun on YouTube and Spotify, and following at Baseball Podcast or Fun on Instagram, and going to my new website, baseballpodcasterfun.com, and subscribing to my podcast on YouTube. Join me next week for an all-new guest. Until then, that was Niko Hulsizer. I am Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Don't forget to swing for the fences. See ya!